So hello and welcome everyone to another installment of My Mom Reacts. I, of course, am Cape Joel. You probably know me if you're watching the channel, and if not, with me right now is my mother. Hello.
Caped Mom. Hey.
Yes, hello. I'm glad that name is finally sticking. So, we did part one of this video where I was showing you all the different Avengers back in August, and the video did pretty well. Last time I checked, I think it almost had 3,000 views.
That's because I know a lot. I know more than you.
You know a shocking amount.
I'm kidding. I don't know more than you.
You've seen all the movies, as I mentioned before, and people were genuinely surprised and had their hearts warmed by what you did know. It's funny. I think I put that video up, and I put the podcast with me and Matt up a couple days apart. Mm-hmm. And the video we did got like 500 more views, so I'm sure somewhere out there Matt was just sweating.
Oh no, he's gonna get replaced by his mom.
Geez, I'm not paying you to gold brick, Matt. I'm training your replacement right now, so get to it. Oh, she became such a big diva after that video did so well. She wants only green M&Ms now, Dom Perignon and Capri Sun in her trailer. That's why it's taken us over a month to come back and do this.
Fluff my pillows, Joel.
Yeah, that's why it's taken so long to do this. Come on.
Oh no, I can't do the dishes. I'm a star.
Yeah, you've corrupted my mother, internet. You've made her one of those, terrible YouTube terrors.
And when I go to Comic-Cons with you, they can just ask for my autograph now.
Oh yeah, that'll be the ultimate. Please do that, everyone. So, alright, I got some more Avengers here for you. Let's hope that we can get through them all, but no promises. When last we left off, we had done the 60s to the 90s, and I think we're 1998 right now, and this is widely considered to be maybe some of the worst periods ever in the history of the Avengers. Mm-hmm. Everyone was reading X-Men at the time. Avengers was such an afterthought at this point.
This is early 90s, I would imagine.
This is late 90s.
Yeah, because everybody's into that X-Men show.
Yeah, because X-Men is the top right now. Image Comics is killing it right now. They'd actually send the Avengers away for a little bit and then send them back. But starting things off here, we have Justice.
This guy looks like he has frozen powers, but he almost looks half Captain America with that thing.
He's a mutant. He can fly and he's telekinetic. But yeah, you're right. This picture is not very representative of his powers. He's also a New Warrior, and really anyone related to the New Warriors is absolutely cursed. His deal is his real name is Lance Astrovic, and he's actually a time-traveling version of Vance Astro, one of the original Guardians of the Galaxy.
His really great powers.
And yet so lame.
Yeah.
He has a big fan base, I'm not gonna lie. He's got a good costume, and there's some people who really like New Warriors, but whenever I see Justice, I'm just like, oh god, Justice, get out of here. Actually, him and a bunch of the New Warriors are basically villains now. They're fighting the champions. Basically, the government plopped a bunch of them out of obscurity and are making them work for a group called Cradle to police new young heroes.
Is this when they made a Legion team of some sort?
You're thinking of DC.
Okay.
The Legion is DC.
Right.
Oh god, we're going to have to do the Legion of Superheroes at some point, and there's a bunch of losers there, but I digress. Alright, from there, we have Firestar. Remember I said before there's going to be a lot of fire-themed women heroes on
She looks like Medusa.
It's kinda, yeah, only with the big mask. So, Firestar has a weird history. She was actually created for TV, not for the comics. There was a very short-lived Spider-Man cartoon called Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and they had to invent some friends for him, and she was one of the friends they invented.
Powers just like normal Firestarter guys, like mutant guys?
Just fire stuff, yeah.
Can she do it on her own, or does she need a lighter?
No, she's not like Pyro. She can actually create her own fire. It was her and Iceman who lived with Peter, and it was basically like Three's Company.
I guess.
It was very, very lame and very...
He's walking around freezing everything. She's walking around heating everything up.
Basically.
And some guy's trying to live in the middle.
Yeah, it was very lame and very cheesy, even for the time in which it was created. But she has a fan following, and she's one of the few instances of a canon immigrant. It would be her, Harley Quinn, X-23 for characters that, were popular enough that got to come on over and live in the comics. I don't think she's doing much currently. She had a job teaching at the school for X-Men, and that was the last time I saw her.
Right.
All right. Next, we have Triathlon, also known as the 3D Man.
Couldn't decide on red or green.
Man, I wish you could see her face right now, everybody. She is as confused as anyone is.
I'm like, what? I don't even know what he looks like. I was like, almost looks like a grown-up Robin, but not.
Yeah, with the red and green, yeah.
Kind of Flash, but not.
Kind of Flash, but not. In fact, let me tell you his origin and tell me if this sounds familiar to you. He was a triathlon star who got busted for doing steroids and then ended up joining a church that was not unlike Scientology that gave him
Sounds
powers.
like the boys.
It literally, I didn't even remember this. I had to research this for this video, but I'm like, oh my god, triathlon is literally A-Train. Holy shit.
A-Train, yeah.
He's a parody of a parody. Holy shit. Yeah,
I couldn't think of his name. I was going to go the guy in blue.
close enough, yeah. But yeah, triathlon has not done much, though you will often see him in the background because people like to draw him because he is so endlessly distinct.
Right.
Yeah, can't fight that one, but alright. Next up, we have Silverclaw.
Is she an Amazon?
She looks like...
Amazonian?
Man, she totally looks like Wonder Woman, doesn't she?
She does.
She is not, though. She is from a fictional Central American country.
She doesn't like pants, apparently.
Does not like pants. Again, that's from the part of the world she's from. This picture specifically makes her look a lot like Wonder Woman. She's actually, if she's a ripoff of anything, she's a ripoff of Vixen because she also has animal powers. This is her in like her base human form.
I get okay, no pants, but then what do you need the stocking holder uppers for? Decorations? Do they serve a purpose? Or?
Because they look nice, something to draw.
I get the ankle bracelets. Everybody wears, but what's that?
Yeah, she turns into like a cat lady sometimes. Her big claim to fame is that she was really good friends with Jarvis, the Avengers butler, and that I know that when that's your greatest claim to fame, that you had a good friendship with the butler, and I think he sponsored her in whatever Central American country she was from. We have not seen her in decades.
No, I can't go on that saving mission. I have to talk to Jarvis.
Yes, I gotta talk to the butler.
Have some tea.
Yeah, really. But yeah, wow. I didn't even remember this character until I researched her for this video, so this is educational for me too. Alright, after that we have... Jack of Hearts.
Oh. So is he anything like those guys that fly around on those carts?
The Royal Flush Gang from DC?
Right, yeah.
No. Though he does have all card-based powers, and guess what his real name is?
I don't know. He looks like the helmet guy as well.
His real name is Jack Hart, and his superhero name is Jack of Hearts.
Jack of Hearts, right. Oh, wow. It's the same.
I know. How does
I could never put that together.
Yeah, how does his secret identity not get outed? So, no one remembers Jack of Hearts, and he's one of the very few comic book characters who, when he died, he fucking stayed dead. He has stayed dead for a shocking amount of time. His great...
Is that Spider-Man?
Yes, that is Spider-Man's leg off to the side. This is the only good picture I could find. Jack of Hearts' greatest claim to fame is that during one of the worst periods of Avengers, when they finally decided to shut it down and Brian Michael Bendis took over, he really stuck it to Jack of Hearts by having him basically be an exploding zombie to try and kill Ant-Man, and that's his greatest claim to fame all these years.
So, what does he do? Throw cards at you?
Yeah, it's card shit.
Do they blow up? Do they...
Sometimes.
Do they just give you paper cuts? Or?
This was such a bad time for Avengers, and you can see why.
I can see why.
That losers like this were headlining. Alright, so from there, someone who actually did manage to stand the test of time, Ant-Man again, but this time it's Scott Lang.
Right, yes.
And this is his more traditional costume. He wouldn't get his more personalized one that you see in the movie for a couple years later. This is basically Scott wearing Hank's old suit.
Yeah, I don't mind this costume at all.
No, I don't mind it either. It's got all the ants in the background.
It doesn't look anything like what we see in movies now. His face is covered when he's actually in the costume, but...
I always liked Scott. Scott was always one of my favorites because he's such a lovable loser, and the movies have done a good job capturing that, too.
I like him better than Hank Pym, too.
Yeah. Well, the movies do a funny thing with Hank Pym in that you only know him when he was old. There was a whole generation for whom he was their only Ant-Man.
Right.
But he was also like a billion other things.
Who was the other guy that did Ant-Man?
We'll get to him eventually.
Okay.
But yes, there is a third Ant-Man. The movies haven't touched him yet, but they probably will. Alright, from there, we have Captain Britain, Kelsey Shore.
He's wearing the rampant lion.
It is a lady. In fact, it's a her, Kelsey, and her other name was Lionheart. There's actually a whole Captain Britain corps. Brian Braddock is the most famous one, but she was the one who got to be an Avenger at the time.
I see. Yeah, because she's wearing the rampant lion, and she's got the British flag there.
Her origin story is really depressing, actually.
What are her powers?
Captain Britain stuff. She can fly and punch and do everything. It's a whole lot of stuff, but then some of them have different powers. She has a spear that was her weapon of choice that looks like something you would see like outside Westminster Cathedral or something.
Right. What was her origin then? Where'd she come from?
So her origin, goddamn, I hate this trope so much when they use sexual violence against women as something to spur them forward. Basically, some dudes broke into her house and tried to hurt her. Her husband clammed up and she had to fight them off herself. Mm-hmm. She ended up getting horribly scarred and then ended up getting the Captain Britain powers after that. And then Brian Braddock came back and then they took the powers away, so she just became Lionheart. And she hasn't done anything in forever.
So she just got powers because she was had like adrenaline push or something?
It's a whole thing with how the Captain Britons get their power and Merlin and Otherworld. I can't get into that now, but yeah, this character has laid dormant for a long time now.
I can see why.
Well, I wouldn't be shocked if she comes back in Excalibur recently, because that book has resurrected a bunch of the Captain Britain mythos. In fact, the big new X-Men event right now is taking place in Otherworld.
Oh, well.
And in fact, I'm pretty sure if I recall, there's like a whole like test tube chamber where they have a bunch of Captain Britons from other universes, and she might be there. I don't know.
All right.
All right, so from there we have Luke Cage.
Ooh, Luke Cage.
Yes, now we're entering the Bendis era where he comes in and actually starts making people give a shit about Avengers again with The New Avengers. For people my age and Sal's age, this was the moment that Avengers actually got cool again and we all started reading.
Oh, I can tell why. And I don't know why they don't have more black superheroes. It's really annoying.
Indeed. Well, I mean, they have a lot.
I mean, all I know is this guy, the Static guy, and
which are all great ones to know.
Falcon now.
Yeah, all great ones to know. I mean, they always try every couple years. It's just some of them don't end up sticking around or the publishers get cold feet. Like even right now, Luke Cage does not have a book right now.
Right.
Nor is
he should.
Yeah, nor is he on any team. Man, that last David F. Walker book was really good and not enough people read it. But yeah, he was a big part of the New Avengers, big part of Bendis's push to make the Avengers more relatable and more street-level characters at this time. Mm-hmm. And we'll see that reflected in the other members of the team, too. Wolverine became an Avenger at this point. And unlike all the other X-Men, I'm like, come on, you're an X-Men. At least with Wolverine, it's like, no, he's on every team. He can go everywhere.
Right, well, he is Canadian.
He indeed, so he works.
We get along with everybody.
Exactly, so you got it.
We're so polite, we just can't say no.
Sure is, and also if you want your book to sell at Marvel, you put Wolverine on it.
Right, I guess so.
So he was the big celebrity. Spider-Man was on this version of the team, too. So, like, clearly, Bendis...
Did they put him in there because in the 90s he was making those X-Men movies, so they were trying to bring back kind of the Avengers to make them better? Or did they just put him on the team to...
Well, I mean, every team at Marvel is helped by putting Wolverine. In fact, that was the on-running joke where it's like, are there Wolverine clones? Are there life model decoys? How can he be on so many teams?
Right.
He'd be on like 5 teams at one time.
Sure.
All right. From there, we have the Sentry. Now, what do you think of the Sentry, Mom?
What's with his hair?
Blonde and beautiful.
Is he like from a long time ago?
Oh, man. So, the Sentry, in the easiest way I can say it, is he is Marvel's answer to Superman.
Oh, I see. That didn't go anywhere.
Well, he's wildly powerful. He can,
because they had Captain America.
Oh, yeah, he can rip worlds in half and everything.
Oh.
But here's the thing. He is racked with schizophrenia.
Oh, cool.
And his villain, the Void, is only his villain because he, lives in his mind.
Oh, I was going to say, does he have people talking to him, telling him things?
Yes, the Void. So he is god levels of powerful, but actually literally sick in the head.
Right.
And the way they worked him in is actually kind of genius in that it's like, well, how does a guy this powerful exist in a world with Spider-Man and Captain America and not know? The idea is that, he did exist back in the 1940s when heroes were new and everything, but something happened that deleted him from everyone's memory.
Uh-huh.
So when he came back, the memories came back, and it's kind of this whole cool thing. Then they took him off Earth because he's, too powerful.
Well, yeah, that's the appeal of the Avengers, is that they can lose. And they're Avengers, so they do the best for after the fact. And
Marvel in general, it's the world outside your window. A lot of the Sentry stories are really, really good, but I also understand why they don't use him that much.
Of course.
Because his very existence, again, it becomes the Superman problem. It's like, well, whenever the Avengers have a problem, they'll just go get Sentry to deal with it for them. But he's a very interesting character, very interesting idea.
Needs a haircut.
And needs a haircut. Oh, well, there you go. If you work in the redesign department, cut them sideburns there, Bob Reynolds. Oh, yeah, his name is Bob Reynolds, too.
Oh.
His name is Bob.
Oh, of course.
I know, Marvel Superman's name is Bob. That's funny. Then we have Echo.
Echo powers?
No, actually.
Oh, God.
But also kinda. I imagine if that Daredevil show had kept going, you probably would have seen her at some point. She's part of the Daredevil cast. She's deaf, but she also has the power to basically copy any move she sees.
Oh, okay.
So
I see.
Yeah, so she's kind of like a copycat. She was yet another one of Daredevil's many girlfriends.
Oh, of course. Did she have that big white handprint on her face the whole time?
That's her costume, you see.
Oh, I could never tell who she is with that big white handprint.
No. Well, actually, it was her father's bloody handprint because, Wilson Fisk killed her father.
Oh, I see.
Is what it's supposed to be. And, yeah, she was an interesting character because when she joined the New Avengers at this point in history, she didn't do it as herself. She did it as Ronan.
Ronan?
Yeah, you know who Hawkeye is in the movie when he stops being Hawkeye? She was Ronan, and it was part of a big mystery when it's like, oh, and Ronan is on this new team, and who is Ronan? And the internet kept guessing, oh, well, it has to be Daredevil, because Bendis wrote an amazing Daredevil run, and he's writing this. And because the internet guessed it, because Bendis is a big baby, just flipped the table and said, no, screw it, it was never Daredevil, Echo, it was Echo. And the...
What do you think, what's his name's Hawkeye's daughter would be called? Would they bring her like a Ronan?
Well, we thought she might be, but they might be doing Kate Bishop anyway with Haley Steinfeld, so we don't know.
Right.
Because she takes up the Hawkeye mantle, but she could be Trickshot. That was his brother's name. But yeah, Echo, kind of cool, kind of comes and goes. I like the idea of, kind of like a flip mirror to Daredevil, someone who's deaf instead of blind.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, she comes back every so often. I wouldn't be surprised if Zdarsky, who's writing Daredevil now, does something with her in the future. All right, from there we have Ares. Yes, that Ares, the god of war.
It's got like a Punisher logo on.
I know, right? So basically, this was at a point not long after Civil War in the comics, where Tony Stark was trying to rebuild the Avengers, and his idea was, okay, every state gets an Avengers team now.
Oh, okay, sure.
So they had to start going out to all sorts of different people, so this was one of the guys they went out to, and Ares, sometimes a hero, sometimes a villain.
I see.
Yeah, he does lots of things. He's kind of cool. He's basically, hey, we need a Thor villain. Who do we got? We got Ares.
So that's what he's like? He's like a Thor?
He's like a Thor, basically.
Just in strength, or...
Yeah, and with a lot less baggage and everything.
Doesn't fly.
Yeah, the Olympian gods aren't nearly as interesting in Marvel as the Norse gods are. In fact, I'm pretty sure they killed all the Olympian gods and then had them be reborn in space, so they got spacey makeovers.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if they do something with him for that new Eternals movie, because it sounds like they might be trying to get Hercules in there now, because it's like, well, they all got names of famous mythological heroes, so why not?
What does he keep in his belt?
Change for when he has to ride the bus. You can blame Rob Liefeld for that. He put pouches on everyone, and now every character, when they're tough and hardcore.
Like, what is he trying to, get Batman, Punisher, Thor?
Trying to put it all together into one guy, yeah. All right, who do we got after that? Okay, Amadeus Cho. You technically saw his mom in one of the movies, Dr. Cho. That's her kid.
Oh, right. The one that made the chamber?
Yes.
For, what's his name?
I do believe so, yeah. But that's...
For Vision?
Yeah, the Asian doctor lady. That's her kid. He's a super genius. He hangs out. He's had a bunch of different names. He was like Prince of Power for a minute. He actually became Hulk for a while there, too. He was the totally awesome Hulk.
How did he become Hulk?
He was close to Banner when he had, a gamma explosion.
Oh, okay.
Now he calls himself Brawn on the Champions, and it's like, get it, Brain and Brawn, because he was a super kid, and now he's got all this going on.
Got it.
He's cool, Asian representation, which is always pretty solid. I like him as Brawn on the Champions. He's he's like a smart goofball and everything. Good stuff.
Yep.
Good stuff. He was a fun addition. Then we got Joe Costa, also known as the Bride of Ultron.
The Bride of Ultron.
Yes, the robot guy. So much like Ultron is based on the brain patterns of Hank Pym, right?
Yes.
She is based on the brain patterns of Janet the Wasp.
Oh, I see.
I know the movies did something different where he's actually based on Tony's brain patterns. But yeah, they've actually done a lot with her in the comics recently. She was a villain, then she kind of reformed. This picture I'm showing you right now is from the newest Iron Man run where she became like the head of robo-ethics for Stark Industries.
Right.
And she got a fun suit with suspenders and everything.
I see, yeah, suspenders and a blouse.
Yes, she's a sharp-dressed robot lady. In fact, she's dating Robot Man, and there's like a lot of fun jokes and side stuff of like, oh, how do two emotionless robots carry on a romance?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's very organized.
It's very organized. It's very funny. I like Jocasta a whole lot. I would like it if she got more play. I would totally put her back on the Avengers because you fill a lot of roles with her. All right. After that, we have Stature, also known as Cassie Lang, Scott Lang's daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was hoping with the movies, with everybody introducing their kids, that they would put a kid team together.
Oh, they're definitely building up to Young Avengers. I don't know if that's going to be a TV show or a movie, but they have to be building up to Young Avengers. And Cassie has always been a lot of people's favorites, and it's something they've definitely nailed in the movie because, you know, she's just like this easygoing, fun character and arguably has more of her shit together than her father.
Well, yeah, of course.
Which is the great ongoing joke where it's like, well, we'd like to talk to your dad, but we're going to talk to you instead.
So she gets big, too.
She gets big. She can do all sorts of stuff. They actually took away her big powers just recently in that last Ant-Man run, and she got a bug suit, too, and started calling herself Stinger. But this is the version everyone knows and loves, and this is the version we're probably going to get in the movie.
Sure.
But yeah, Cassie Lang, super cool. Next we have Captain America again, but this is Bucky in the costume.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Cap was dead.
Hence the gun.
Yeah. Cap was dead at this point in the comics, and so Bucky took up the costume, and that was like multiple years worth of story of him trying to fill the void and trying to feel good enough for, and it's really good shit from Ed Brubaker.
Oh, I guess that's why at the end of the movie they had both of them standing there.
Yes, because you didn't know as
whether
comic
it was going to be
fans.
Bucky or Falcon or...
Falcon would become Captain America within the last couple years, but yeah, it was definitely like, who's going to take it? We don't know.
How many people have been Captain America?
Only 3. Only 3. Well, technically more if you count John Walker, the fake Captain America, who's also going to be in that Falcon Winter Soldier show.
Oh, I see.
So we're going to have a couple. Well, actually, even more, too, if you count the ones that they retconned away in times when Steve was in the ice. There was like a college professor who did it, but he didn't fight crime. He just put on the costume to make people think Captain America was still alive.
So he has the shield. It looks like he has a knife and a gun.
Yes, but basically, and the Winter Soldier arm under it, but you can't see it.
Yeah.
So he has all the same stuff. So yeah, arguably he was more powerful if you wanted to start making those things, because he could technically do more stuff. But yeah, Bucky is Cap. Good stories that still very much hold up.
Yep.
To this day, and we're gonna see a lot of that in that Falcon Winter Soldier show, probably.
And Captain America's in Avengers. His shield, when he lost his shield, when he gave it back, resembles the one that he was carrying.
A little bit, yeah. There's some stuff going on there, and yeah, the whole who will wield the shield, and giving it back and forth and everything.
I meant the shirt.
Oh yeah.
The shirt resembles it, not his.
Oh yeah,
brown shield.
It was very shiny. All right, from there we have Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew. Let me blow your freaking mind about Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew. Her origin and everything about her has nothing to do with Peter Parker.
I was gonna say.
Has literally nothing. In fact, that's an on-running joke where she's like, stop asking me about Peter Parker. No, I wasn't bitten by the same spider. No, he's not my cousin or boyfriend. I'm completely different in every way.
Yeah, I'm not his mother. I'm not his daughter. I'm not his cousin. I'm not related.
We are not related.
I don't even live in Brooklyn or Queens.
No, she's a spy. She took up the mantle and everything. She's fun. In the comics, she's actually best friends with Jessica Jones.
Well, how'd she get her powers then?
Part of an experiment. Very, very standard sort of thing. She was replaced by the Skrull Queen, quite famously, during Secret Invasion. Yeah, lots of stuff there. She actually got pregnant, and she was a pregnant superhero for a while.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, internet shitbeards hated that and complained endlessly.
I guess, wouldn't they?
At the idea of a pregnant woman.
How barely like women walking on the earth.
I know, let alone pregnant women. And that was also a fun story, too, because everyone would be asking, like, oh, well, who's the father? And she's like, none of your business.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, look, you get it.
Yeah.
See? But yeah, she's fun. I wouldn't be shocked if we get her in the movies. Maybe at some point. I don't know what the legal stuff with that is.
Yeah.
Because even though she is a Spider-Woman, is that still technically tied up in everything Sony is doing?
Yeah, is she still with Sony? Is she Disney? Is she, where does she fall in?
They're developing a Silk show before she gets a show or get mentioned in anything, which I thought was hilarious, that she's the original Spider-Woman, but she wasn't even the first Spider-Woman on film.
I like her costume, though.
Oh, it's a fun costume. She has a black one now. She's gone through a couple different costume redesigns. Alright, what do we have from there? Valkyrie, but the Broomhilda version of Valkyrie. You know Valkyrie from the movies, but a different Valkyrie.
Well, there were lots of Valkyries.
Yes, in fact, we actually see Broomhilda for a second in Ragnarok when that Valkyrie tells her origin story about basically losing the woman she loved and everything.
The woman she loved?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know the story of Broomhilda?
Yes, I know the German story. But yeah, this was the woman she was talking about, basically.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah,
yes,
so we saw her for a minute. She was Valkyrie. She was on the Secret Avengers. There's a new Valkyrie now, and it's Jane Foster.
Oh, well, that's good.
Because Jane Foster became Thor for like 5-6 years, and then when that was done, she found a new weapon, and now she's the new Valkyrie.
Right.
So they're doing a lot of interesting stuff with that. Yeah, Broomhilda's cool. I liked her in The Fearless Defenders because that was a comedy book.
Did she draw her powers from Asgard like the rest of them?
Yes and no. It's a whole thing because they're like guardians of death to take the souls and everything from one place to another, the souls of heroes and Valhalla. They've written a lot about it that's changed over the years. One of the most fun things is that one of the last stories they told with her before they killed her is she was on Earth and she fell in love with this like lady archaeologist and she died, but instead of taking her soul to Valhalla, her soul just kind of jumped into her, so they like shared a body. They were girlfriends who shared a body.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very funny, and it's just like, no, I want the body now to know. I want the body to do stuff. I think they fixed that just recently, but yeah, that was funny for a bit. Fearless Defenders is very underrated, everybody. All right, now we have Nova, a.k.a. Richard Ryder, or Dick Ryder, as Sal calls him endlessly, because, come on, that's his name.
Yeah, look at that. It just looks like two eyes and a nose on his costumes. What is that?
Space stuff.
And his arm, I don't know what those arm spikes.
Yeah, pauldrons. Nice pauldrons.
And a star face.
A very star face. So
Does this help him do anything? Or?
Yes, the helmet is where he draws his power from. You know how Green Lantern has a ring and is part of a core?
Yes.
Well, the Novas have helmets and are part of a core.
Oh, like a Nova core?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because you saw them in Guardians of the Galaxy, but they couldn't do any of this shit.
Sure.
They, like, drove ships and Tyler Perry was one.
Right.
But yeah, in the comics, they're basically Green Lanterns. They have cores, they fight space crime, they have helmets.
Right, sure.
And Richard Ryder is like the first Nova from Earth, much like Hal Jordan was like the first Green Lantern from Earth, so he's a big deal. He fought in a bunch of big cosmic events, a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy story, had a huge cult following, but could never get a book that lasted for long. So they sent him off to a place called the Cancerverse, and that's where he stayed for like a decade.
Cancerverse.
Oh, yes, it's a horrible universe that eats itself endlessly, and there's twisted versions of everyone, you know. Oh, it's a
Deadpool there?
Man, have they ever done a story where Deadpool went to the Cancerverse? If they don't, that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, clearly.
Wow, holy shit. But, yeah, so he went away forever. They replaced him with Sam Alexander, the new hip, young Hispanic version.
Oh, good.
That everyone really liked. But then they brought him back, and they're like, well, maybe they can share the book? Well, people, oh, no, that pleases no one? Fuck, okay, we'll just cancel the book then. But he's back now. I think he's on Ewing's Guardians right now. Again, I haven't read like the last 3 or 4 issues, but he's cool. Nova. Again, don't be shocked if he gets a TV show or we see him in a Guardian sequel.
Right. At the end of this, I think we should both tell each other what our favorite Avenger character is of all time.
Oh, that's a rough one. Mine keeps changing, but all right. So from there, we have the third Ant-Man, also known as Black Ant, also known as Eric O'Grady, the irredeemable Ant-Man.
What?
Yeah, he's an asshole. He uses his shrinking tech to spy on women in the shower.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, he's horrible. Guess who created him?
Not Liefeld.
No, Robert Kirkman, the Walking Dead guy.
Oh, really?
Yes, he cut his teeth at Marvel creating the irredeemable Ant-Man and just making him a horrible son of a bitch, which makes a lot of people think, like, Kirkman, you don't like superheroes, do you? Not really. I'm going to go write a zombie book. He's a villain now, naturally, and much better than a villain. Actually, he hasn't had a human body in, like, forever because he died, but because he was also an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., they had a life model decoy of him sticking around. You remember them from S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah, of course I do.
The robot doubles.
Yeah.
So he's been like a robot double for a long time now, and his robot body is, like, falling apart and everything under the mask, and he's really gross.
Costume's getting closer to
Yeah.
how it looks.
In the movies, they updated him a lot and made him a lot sleeker. Okay, from there we have Iron Fist, who was...
Dragon powers?
Well, no, you saw the Iron Fist
Iron
show.
Fist, right, yes, Iron Fist. Oh, yeah, the guy that owns the company.
Yeah, I know he looked nothing like
I
this in
just
the
saw
show.
the dragon, and I was thinking, and then I saw the fist,
He should have looked like this. He didn't look like this in the show for 2 seasons.
That was the worst show
Yes, it was.
ever.
It was the worst of those Netflix shows. You could have had this, but they were playing.
Yeah,
Yeah, kung fu guy, white guy, raised by monks and everything, comes back to New York, teams up with Luke Cage.
got the power because he was able to steal the dragon.
Yeah, the fire from the dragon's heart,
yeah.
Actually, it's funny, at this time, too, he was also playing double duty. He was Iron Fist, but he was also dressing up like Daredevil at the time. Because Daredevil was, like, involved in a civil suit. Like, a tabloid had outed his identity. So to try and throw people off, Danny, like, dressed up as him when he was
and
away.
couldn't use his Iron Fist?
No, he used it, too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he definitely did.
People had no idea.
There's an amazing scene in Bendis' Daredevil when he comes back and puts on the costume and he's like, hey, you imposter, what the fuck? And then his fist lights up and it's like, oh shit, it was Iron Fist.
Right.
That was cool. Iron Fist. I hope they take another shot at him because Danny Rand is very fun and very cool in the comics, but you never get to see that on the screen because they literally took everything that made him fun and special.
Yeah, it was just horrible, though.
And had an actor who just whined. He was so bad, Colleen Wing, his sidekick, was Iron Fist by the end of it.
We have differences in that show of who we liked best in that.
Oh, yeah.
On that Netflix series.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that'll be another video. We'll react to the Netflix shows because we watched all of them.
Because I hated him.
Yeah.
You liked Jessica Jones.
Yes, Jessica Jones was
I
my
like
favorite.
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage was really good. Season 2 was much better than Season 1, but I digress. Speaking of Jessica Jones,
There she is.
she got to be an Avenger around this time.
God, they made her look just like her. I mean, really.
Oh, yeah. It's very easy
And
to...
the drink.
Yes, that too. And The Office, even.
And The Office, yeah.
Yeah, it was very easy to translate Jessica Jones because there's basically almost nothing super heroic about her. She is a throwback to the old grimy film noir detectives.
Yeah.
And again, some of Bendis at his best because her book wasn't even called Jessica Jones. It was called Alias.
Oh.
Yeah, her book wasn't even called that because, again, she didn't really have a superhero name or a superpower. She was Jewel, but everything went bad for her, so she, like, left that life of superheroing behind.
I like how broken she is.
Very much so, agree. I think that's why I think she's the perfect premier character for Marvel, where it's like, yeah, you want real, it don't get much more real than this.
Yeah, they have to be flawed.
Totally, and I think Marvel does that so well with their heroes. I think at this time, too, they flirted with the idea of calling her Power Woman because she's married to Luke Cage and they have a kid,
Right.
and he was Power Man.
Power Man,
so it's like, well, how about you be Power Woman? And she's like, nah.
No.
Jessica Jones is a hard nut to crack, too, and I am not shocked she doesn't have a book right now because it's hard for people to really nail it down.
She never gets drunk either.
Well,
She just continually drinks, but...
Oh, she still falls down and is sloppy.
Well,
and
can you imagine that in a costume?
Yeah, for real. There was a digital series that was apparently really, really good that I keep meaning to read and go back to. But, Jessica Jones, good stuff. Always like her. From there, we have Protector, also known as Marvel Boy, which means he's part of the weird messed up incestuous history of Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel and the Kree and everything else. And this was him trying out a new costume. It's like, I'm not Marvel Boy anymore. I'm Protector. It's like, you're freaking Marvel Boy.
What's his powers?
Space stuff.
Like
basically what Captain Marvel can do.
I see.
He's also technically a Grant Morrison creation, so he gets even weirder.
Yes, can be very weird.
Yeah, he had a very...
Grant Morrison, you can be almost anything and do anything.
Yes, I've made Mom watch the Inside the Mind of Grant Morrison documentary because he's Scottish and her parents are Scottish, and I'm like, hey, Mom, look at this comic writer who talks like Grandpa.
Yeah.
Literally, that's how I did it.
And their logic is all... They come to different decisions with their logic, but their logic is all the same. It's just right out there.
He's a Guardian now, actually, and he went back to his old identity in his old, much better costume. I think this is often regarded as one of the worst costumes. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, so there's Protector for you, everybody. Now, who do we have after that? Oh, Doctor Strange.
Oh.
So he didn't become a member of the Avengers till really late, to like the later 2000s, like 2004, 2005.
Wow, and he's so popular now.
Because he was a Defender before that.
A Defender.
Yes, I know the TV Defenders were street level, but the comic Defenders were like the overflow, so they had like Doctor Strange and the Hulk and Silver Surfer and like what?
He could be like a street defender though, because it protects your reality. So
yes,
he's, you know.
And he lives in a brownstone in New York with a cool ass window.
Right.
Again, I joked last time, can you believe Dr. Druid got to be the magic guy on the Avengers before the premier magic guy? Mm-hmm. But yeah, so he got to be an Avenger, and he got to be in the movie, so there you go.
I like that Earth has a wizard.
Yes.
Or wizards.
Wizards, yeah, it's all very, very Harry Potter, but not.
Yeah. No, because Potter's does just, you know, spells, but this is protecting reality.
I mean, he did go to magic school.
Well, yes.
Which was actually my least favorite part of that movie, that he didn't spend more time in magic school. I'm like, no, that's the movie, him going to magic school and learning.
Yeah, I know you didn't like that.
No, they literally was like, no, we got to get past this origin stuff to get to the hero stuff.
They have to get him on the team.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, but the origin stuff is the story. But, yeah, he's cool. And, man, that next...
I think we got it. He's a prick.
Yeah, oh yeah, and he's also a prick. Which, again, they could have made him very much like Tony Stark in the movies. I'm glad he's a different type of prick.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's got the God complex. He's a doctor.
Absolutely, yeah, which you would know being a nurse.
Would know.
You know that guy too freaking well.
Yeah, I know all of them.
Man, that next movie is going to be so good, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, because it's going to be him, Scarlet Witch, who's going to be coming back from that TV show.
Oh, great. That would be great to see them.
Yeah, and we're going to be screwing around in the multiverse now to finally explain, okay, what does that mean in the Avengers
Because they don't really explain that their powers are, like, witchy.
No, even though they are.
Yeah.
Like, to think they made it through all those movies and never once sat down and were like, hey, what can you do? How does that work?
Because I've seen different shows where she's different because of a different reason and
play
acts
it very
differently. And, yeah.
In the movies, they basically make her into Jean Grey. They give her Jean Grey powers.
Yeah, pretty much.
But they do stay...
Well, you think?
I mean, she can move shit and she can shoot beams and stuff and fly.
But she's not doing it with her mind.
No, well, not that we know.
Not that, yeah.
they never
not
say
in this one.
But hey, that's Scarlet Witch. That's a whole other thing. Red Hulk was on this team. So Red Hulk was actually part of like a big mystery because Green Hulk had disappeared and this guy started running around. Mm-hmm. And we're like, oh, is this a new version of the Hulk? Because Hulk can be gray sometimes when he's Mr. Fix-It. And this was like a whole long drawn out mystery. Eventually we discovered that it was General Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah. Does he have some kind of fire issue?
Well, in this he does.
Is he like burning lava blood?
He's so radioactive and so gamma and everything. But yeah, so we've had General Ross in the movies for a long time now.
Yeah. What was he in?
He chased after the Hulk in that Edward Norton movie.
That's right, yes.
And then and
his daughter...
Liv Tyler.
Right,
Betty Ross, who fell off the face of the earth.
Yes, well...
But, yeah, so we've had Thunderbolt Ross in the movies, and fans like me keep ticking down the mo. It's like, come on, it's got to be Red Hulk. When's he going to be Red Hulk, though? It's going to happen, right?
I would say soon, because what's his name's getting older.
Who, The
Ruffalo? Guy that's playing, Ruffalo.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's got gray hair now.
Yeah. Well, Red Hulk was a hero, but he was only kind of pretending because he was a villain. People want to see Red Hulk fight Green Hulk is what they want to see.
I guess it really doesn't matter because Hulk is CGI'd anyways.
That's true.
So he could be a scientist with gray hair for as long as he wants.
Yeah, absolutely. You could do whatever you want. But, Red Hulk, interesting in so much as that, it was General Ross finally given a chance to fight the Hulk and that, he tricked everyone for
so he's a bad guy.
Yes, but he was pretending to be a good guy, which is how he got on the Avengers.
Oh, right. Okay, I see.
And, he's been on so many different anti-hero teams. Given the fact that his nickname is Thunderbolt Ross, I wouldn't be surprised if they ever do the Marvel answer to Suicide Squad, the Thunderbolts, that they would probably have him lead in some capacity.
I see. Yep.
But yeah, so Red Hulk, fun stuff. I can't wait for him to show up in the Ewing book because Ewing has basically rewritten everything we know about the Hulk, and I want to see how he fits in. All right, Daredevil, who finally did get to be an Avenger. This was around Fear itself when, evil Mjolnirs were falling out of space, so they had...
Evil Mjolnirs?
Evil Mjolnirs were falling out of space, so they had to, deputize a bunch of people, so Daredevil finally got to be an official member.
You're talking about hammers falling from space.
Yes. That was a plot by Kull the Serpent, Odin's brother and Thor's uncle, who was, trying to take over the world.
Is the origin story of the hammer always from a collapsed star?
Yes.
So how many collapsed stars were there?
Yes, and they change it because, Aaron just recently was okay, it was a collapsed star and it was magic dwarf metal, but also there's a sentient thunderstorm inside it, too, that's alive and can, talk sometimes.
Of course, yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so Daredevil got to be a member. He hasn't been a member in a very long time, and honestly, I like Daredevil better as a lone wolf type character.
Yeah, I think so because he likes to do his lawyer stuff.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a Spider-Man in a way. He's like a neighborhood Daredevil.
Yeah, exactly. He's the defender of Hell's Kitchen. He always feels weird on the Avengers. That's not to say I don't think he doesn't have the power to hang, and in big events he does pull his weight around. But yeah, I don't. As a regular member of the team, I always thought he made more sense as a defender and more of a street level guy. Storm was also part of this expansion at this time. Incredibly powerful mutant, made an incredibly powerful member of the Avengers. I can't remember if this was before or after she was technically married to T'Challa, or if they had broken them up by this point. Oh,
really?
Yes, her and Black Panther get married at one point.
Oh, wow. Great. Do they have kids?
No, they don't, because they kind of ended up breaking up that marriage because of the movies the first time. But they were a couple. They were a literal power couple.
She's got a lot of powers like Thor.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all the weather all the time. She's no mega level mutant. I mean, Aurora Monroe, super cool character. Always great to see her. I like the Mohawk version of her when she was like a punk for a little bit there. That's how they drew her. And I hope if they...
Well, in the newest ones, like in Apocalypse and stuff like that.
Yeah, they paid homage to that there. I hope if we see her again in the movie, and no doubt Marvel is working overtime on trying to get the X-Men back into movies.
And I liked all those movies, but you didn't.
You did. I liked, every other one.
And I liked the really old Daredevil, but you didn't.
Oh, yes.
And Elektra.
The extended cut is better for Daredevil. You were the one who finally sat me down and showed me the extended cut of that Ben Affleck Daredevil. And I'm like, all right, this is better because there's a whole side plot with him trying to get Coolio off.
Yeah, I have sat you down and watched you a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
or made you watch a lot of stuff.
Yeah, really. All right. Now here we have the other Captain Britain, Brian Braddock.
Does he carry the flag everywhere?
Not everywhere he goes, but yeah, Captain Britain. A lot of people like him. Him and his sister, Betsy Braddock, have a lot to do with the X-Men canon of characters. They're back right now, and they're really kind of make them more important and more interesting now. Yeah. Doesn't have an ongoing book, but they do try and keep him around, so that's always fun.
Right.
And lastly, after that, we have Agent Venom.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought that was like Spider-Man Venom.
No, it's
But he's got guns.
He's got guns, and that is because he is Flash Thompson.
Flash Thompson.
Peter Parker's high school bully.
Oh, Flash, yes. The guy who, His
high school bully turned best friend.
I hate Peter Parker, but I love Spider-Man.
But see, you get it. That's the tragedy of his character. So the deal is that him and Peter became good friends in college, and he kind of got his shit together. He went off to war to fight in the Second Desert Storm, and he lost his legs to an IED and was crippled. But because part of a secret military program, they're like, "Hey, we got this symbiote. Would you like the symbiote?" So when he's a hero, he gets to have legs again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I thought that in the Spider-Man movies, they tried to give that character a bit of depth. Like, they might use him again.
Yeah.
Like, about his parents never being home.
Oh, in the new ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing a comedic take on that, but definitely in that last movie, they tried to put a little in there. I don't know if we would ever get Agent Venom now, because Venom looks to be controlled by Sony, and they're making that their thing. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that, but yeah, Agent Venom is cool. They killed Flash off recently, so there is no Agent Venom anymore.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, but the Venom book they replaced it with is actually really, really
so
good.
So the Spider-Man that comes in to be with the Avengers every now and again.
Yeah.
Barring the whole Sony nonsense.
Yeah.
What about the Spider-Man that I like?
Oh, the animated one?
No, the one that was just recently made. The one that I was watching, the cartoon.
Yeah, Spider-Verse, the animated one.
Spider-Verse, yes.
Yeah.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes, Into the Spider-Verse.
What's his name again?
Miles Morales.
Miles, yes. So, does he ever join?
Yes, we will get to that maybe in the next part, because we've been talking for over an hour, and
okay, yeah.
And after that, we're gonna head into the Hickman era of X-Men, or not X-Men, sorry, the Hickman era of Avengers, where, God help me, they came out with like 3 new Avengers books.
Oh.
So we got like multiple characters we got to go through, but we'll be sure to cover that one next time. So this is going to be a trilogy, everyone. I didn't know it was going to be a trilogy when we started, but it looks like it is.
We both talk a lot.
We do talk a lot. I will try and get that next one out in less than a month and some change. But thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed this one. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at Cape Joel. We have the weekly podcast, The Comic Multiverse, every Sunday night at 10 Eastern Standard Time over on Twitch. And this is normally the point where I ask my guests what they have to promote.
I don't have a Caped Mom show.
Yeah, you don't have anything to promote right now.
No.
Well, that's nice.
I'm the promoter of you.
Oh, there
I come with you and help you with your stuff.
Oh, well, thank you for that. So thank you, everyone, for watching and listening, and we'll be sure to be back again next time to finally round this one out. If there are any other teams you would like to see and get my mother's reaction on, please tell me, and maybe we'll do it if I can get her enough green M&Ms and Dom Perignon and Capri Sun.
Fluff my pillows, and you never know.
Yeah, whatever else is on her rider. So thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye now.